So the equivalence relation is the one which satisfies all these three properties. It means if it is reflexive, a given relation is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. All of this. Then we call such relation an equivalence relation. Okay. So for a given relation, it should satisfy reflexive property, then symmetric and transitive. All of them. Okay. So let's take one example. A is equal to ABC and there is a relation given over here. So this relation is it reflexive? Yes, because all of them ABC are having AA type of pairs, AA, BB, CC, and I guess this I written by mistake. So after that, let's check whether it is symmetric or not. So yes, it is symmetric. For BC, we have CD. And is it transitive? So let's see. A C to C is there and C to B is there. So we should have C to B. Then B to C is there and C to B is there. So we should have B to C. Yes, we have. So yes, it is transitive also. So this relation is equivalence relation. Just ignore this DD pair. I have written it by mistake. Okay. So is there any doubt in equivalence relation? Okay. Now let's take this relation. Let A is equal to Z. Z is set of integers and R be defined by ARB if and only if A is less than equal to B, and we have to check whether it is equivalence or not. Okay. So here you have the particular set is not given to you. The whole set of the whole set of integers you have to consider, and the relation given is this. The relation given is not in the form of set. Okay. So the definition of relation is given over here is A is less than equal to B. So any two numbers you choose from set of integers, suppose 0 and 1. So 0 is less than equal to 1. Yes, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So if we choose such pairs over here, then we we will see how it can be reflexive or symmetric or transitive. Okay, to be an equivalence relation, it should be reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. So for reflexive, I don't see any problem in this relation A less than equal to B because equal to is there. So for all elements of set B, we can have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 2 kind of pairs. Okay, so it is uh, applicable for applicable to this reflexive relation. Okay, so we will say this relation is reflexive. Now let's take symmetric. So suppose I have taken this pair 0, 1 because my relation is less than equal to. So my pair should be such that my first number of the pair should be less than equal to second number of the pair. Okay. So 0 and 1 I have taken. So to be symmetric, I should have the inverse of that also. So 1 comma 0 should be there. But then if I consider 1 comma 0 in this relation, will it be satisfied by this definition?
No, ma'am.
No, 1 is not less than equal to 0. So we'll say this is not symmetric, and then hence we will not check for transitive. It is transitive, I know, but then we will not check for the transitive whether it is transitive or not. So we'll directly say that if it is not symmetric, then it is not an equivalence relation. So the definition says all these three should be satisfied by and by given relation, reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Okay. Then we have this. Okay, is there any doubt in relation? Sorry, equivalence relation. Okay, fine. So here is the next topic, that is partition. So partitions are nothing but subsets. We have seen power set of A. Am I right?
Yes.
In case of what we say equivalence relations, we have some partitions. Okay, so suppose this whole thing is P, relation P, and I have divided into these blocks. So this is P1 block, P2 block, P3 blocks, and P4 blocks. These are called as blocks or cells. Okay. Now these blocks are divided, and it means that all the pairs or all the elements of this relation P, all the elements of this relation P are divided into these blocks. Okay. So few elements fall in this one, few elements fall in this one, this one, this one. And all of them are having distinct elements of this set P, relation P. Okay. So it is not like Venn diagram that they are overlapping. Okay. So all elements of this set relation P are divided into these blocks or cells. And here we say any two blocks, intersection of any two blocks is not equal to, is equal to an empty set. Am I right? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this partition is like, consider your class. Yeah, division C. And I want to divide all 60 students into different groups. So obviously all groups will have different students. Okay. No one will be repeated in any of the group, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So similar concept is applied over here. So here these partitions will help us to find, so we can generate uh, an equivalence relation from this partition. So uh, that is why I was explaining you what partitions are. Then let's see one example. So Z is the set. So Z, you know, set of integers, which has A1 partition, which has set of all even numbers, and A2, which is having set of all numbers. So here A1 and A2 is the partition of Z. Okay. So I have divided Z in two partitions, A1 and A2. Now here you will say that these two partitions, intersection of these two is equal to null set. Okay. So, uh, how we can generate an equivalence relation from given partition? Okay, this partition is written in the set form like this. Okay, so suppose P1 is having 1, 2, 3. Partitions are nothing but kind of collection of blocks. Collection of blocks means collection of subsets. I would say it is similar to power set, but just that it has some, you know, this you can generate equivalence relations from that, and you can have equivalence classes for that. Okay, so let's see how it can be done. So let A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and P is equal to, P is the partition. You can name it by any letter. So 1, 2, 3 in one square round, sorry, curly brackets. So it means that is the one partition, comma 4 in curly brackets. It means that is another partition, different partition. So when you want to generate an equivalence relation from this partition, what you have to do? You have to write the combination of each partition in the form of ordered pairs. Okay, and you will not form the combinations of two partitions. You'll have the combination of elements from the same partition. Okay, so it should not be like that, that I am having combination of 1 and 4. I cannot do that because 1 belongs to different partition and 4 belongs to different partition. So if 1, 2, 3 belongs to one partition, I can write all possible ordered pairs of 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's see. For 1 to 3, how many pairs I can form? 6 to 7, I guess. 6. So 1 1, then 1 2, and 1 3. Order matters because you're starting from 1 now. So first you'll write 1 and then you'll combine it with remaining two elements. Okay. Then you'll start with 2 and you'll combine it with itself and other two elements. Why itself? Because we are generating an equivalence relation. So it should be reflexive. Okay. So 1 1 we have done 1 2, then 1 3. After that 2 2, then 2 1, 2 3, then 3 3, 3 1, and 3 2. And 4 has only one combination, that is 4 4. And that is how we can generate an equivalence relation from a given partition. Got this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Okay. So I have a question for you. Answer is also given. So just form an equivalence relation R on A, that is set A, determined by P. Okay. So try to find the answer is given. Try to find the equivalence relation and match your answer with uh, the given answer.